Hello, my wonderful people. Welcome back to the news. It is so obvious that this APC administration, their justice system is very selective. The way they deliver justice is very, very selective. Justice is only served to those that are perceived to be their enemies. Yes, like the case of Abdulrasheed Bawa, who is the EFCC chairman. Why would our own federal government, why would Tinubu's administration suspend Abdulrasheed Bawa, a whole EFCC chairman, if there is not something fishy going on that they don't want Nigerians to know? And at the end of the day, they go ahead and lay weighty allegations on the EFCC chairman, saying he committed abuse of office, diverted public funds, and the rest. And then we got to see Govt Emefiele. Who knows? Tinubu is just trying to be, delivering revenge. Tinubu might just be vengeful because Govt Emefiele tried to, taunt his chances of being the president. He had to stop and frustrate those politicians who wanted to go ahead with their evil plans of vote buying, during the election. And with Govt Emefiele's policy in place, it was very difficult for those politicians to execute their plans. That is why now that Tinubu is now the president, they are trying to fight Govt Emefiele because he once fought them. Remember that at the very beginning, Govt Emefiele's initial plan was to frustrate politicians who were intending or planning to use money to buy votes during the election. That was his plan. That was what he told Nigerians. And then at the end of the day, Nigerians end up suffering and paying dearly for this. All as a result of some few politicians who were intending to use money to buy votes at the election. And at the end of the day, the vote buying still continued though, on a low key. We know what transpired. So many lawmakers were caught with huge amounts of money. How did they get those money? We ask ourselves when Nigerians were faced with huge cash scarcity. But yet, some top politicians were caught in their homes with sacks of money, with the new Naira note. How do they get those currency? When Nigerians are dying, we couldn't see, money to get food for our families. Yet, these politicians, they had this money stockpiled in their houses, because they have connection to these bank managers. They have connection to top bank managers, that released the money to them and left the poor masses to rot and suffer. So you see, we practice a very selective justice system in this country. That is why sometimes we really have to look deep into what our governments, are saying. It might be true, it might not be true. There are always two sides of a coin. We have to look at both sides so we can fish out the truth. Now, this is how the Nigerian Central Bank, under Emefiele, moved over Shady 400 billion to the former National Secretary Advisor Monguno's office in 2 years. Yes, the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, had made multiple transfers totaling the sum of $616 million to the office of the National Security Advisor, NSA, under Major General Babangida Monguno between August 2016 and November 2018, in a rare practice that exposed the dealings of the CBN under the recently suspended Governor Govt Emefiele. The data obtained from the website of the CBN showed that the Apex Bank started making these transfers to the NSA in August 2016, about a year into the administration of the former President Muhammadu Buhari, and there were no such transfers made in the years leading to that. And according to the CBN data, going back to 2004, but since the first transfer was done, the practice continued every month until November 2018. And the CBN has not published data on its operation since 2018. and it is therefore unclear of the curious payments continued. The single largest transfer of about $139 million was made in November 2016 at the Nigeria's current exchange rate, $616 million, which is equivalent to 426 billion, a third of the amount budgeted for the defense in 2022. A text message seeking comments from the CBN was unanswered, and such outflows from the CBN to the office of the NSA raised a red flag that begs the question for which this money was used for. A former central bank official who did not want to be quoted had said that anything that must flow to security should be transparent and be in local currency. Even if we assume it was for the importation of ammunition, then it should be in the public domain. But this wasn't it, so something was definitely wrong, the source said. Another source has said that more than $500 million cannot move from the CBN to the office of the NSA without the approval of the president. Yes, who was ironically detained, Sambo, for misappropriations of funds. Sambo Dasuki was detained for alleged misappropriations of funds. Now, Sambo, who served as the NSA under the former President Goodluck Jonathan, was jailed for more than 4 years after he was indicated by the panel for stealing $2 billion meant for the purchase of arms and ammunition for the Nigerian military. The very corruption Buhari sought to end thrived right under his nose, another sources had said. They whined about how much money went under the radar under Jonathan, but it seems that they had questions of their own to answer, the source said. So, who did not want to be quoted due to the sensitivity of the matter? But then the former Vice President Yemi Osinbajo repeatedly alleged in the early days of Buhari administration that large funds of money, both in local and foreign currencies, were stolen by some people in the former President Jonathan-led People's Democratic Party administration a few weeks before the 2015 general election. So you see, my country people, a lot is really going on. The same corruption that Buhari said he wanted to fight thrived right under his nose. Shey una dey see, my country people, the kind of criminal government we operate in. So you see, guys, it is so obvious that the APC always make things worse for Nigerians. They have made things worse for Nigerians. And we have bad leaders under the All Progressive Congress. So Buhari has finished this country with corruption. Someone that said he wants to fight corruption, he ended up killing Nigeria with the same corruption he swore he will fight. I beg your pardon. So guys, what are your thoughts concerning this? I'm dropping here. Kindly share your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you. Bye for now.